Romaro Johnson, boss of bosses of the Romaro family, and owner of the New Black Wall Street. Some of the best education that I received as a child came from some Muppets. Whether it was Big Bird, The Count, and Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street, or whether it was Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, and Gonzo from the Muppet Show. They all pretty much helped in raising several generations of children. I said some of the best education because the producers of those shows made watching the shows enjoyable while you learn. That whole Muppet trend led way to introducing Muppets into weekly sitcoms as main characters, like in the show Alf, which was a wisecracking alien from another planet that was good for eating a cat or two. Barney was a big purple dinosaur that taught and entertained children, and children everywhere loved him. We had an adult sci-fi show called Farscape, which featured more life-size puppeteering. Then we had movies like The Gremlins, Troll, E.T., Little Shop of Horrors, and The Dark Crystal with their puppeteering magic. I actually call it all magic because if you sit a puppet in the corner on a chair, it would just sit there lifeless. But if you put strings on a puppet and pull on them, or put your hand in and up through a puppet and move it about, then life is given unto that puppet. Back in the day, Charlton Heston had a cartoon that he hosted called The Greatest Heroes and Legends of the Bible. And on his cartoon, his characters will act out scenes from the Bible. On my show, I want to tell the Bible practically the same way that Charlton Heston did. But I found one error in his way of telling the scripture. And it was the taking away from and adding to scripture when he shouldn't have been doing that. And Revelations 22 verses 18 through 19 tell us not to do that. So now, God gave me my vision of how I should go about it. I always liked the way the Muppets held our attention when we were kids, and for all the years that followed. So needless to say, I'm going to have our own puppets running this show. These won't be straight out of the imagination made up furry characters like Cookie Monster, but I will give everybody that I personally know, especially if you're African descent, the opportunity to have a puppet replicated in their images. Because as we all should know by now, the true Israelites / Hebrews / Jews of the Bible are really us, who are known by proverbs and bywords like African American, blacks, and that old racist shit Negroes. So let us just go ahead and get this out of the way right now. My puppet is going to be Jesus. I might change the name of the show to The Stories of Israel, which I do like a little better than the Muppets of the Bible. If you're a Christian household with young kids and you want an easier method of teaching your young the gospel, then here it is. Lastly, I like the contemporary English version of the Bible. It's really easy to read and won't confuse children with the arts and thous that are in the King James Version. So we'll write our shows verbatim to the CEV. With all of that being said, tune in to watch this show. Because despite popular belief, you can learn a lot from a dummy.